Hi everybody, I'm Britt Savage for WooFDriver News. How are you doing? I'm coming to you live, bringing you all the great dog news stories from around the world to your phone, to your tablet, wherever you are. I'm bringing it to you. All the stories, all the news you want to know that's going on. Well, how are you all doing today? Did you somehow get past the 4th of July? I hope you had a great time. I know it's not the greatest holiday for dogs, I know. But I hope you had an okay time. I hope your dogs had a good time and your cats and everybody else in your family. Here in Nashville, they were billing it as the world's largest fireworks show. So I didn't actually go to it, but believe me, I could hear it. My dog, Lucy, she's a little dog. She did pretty well. We actually have one of those glow balls, you know, those ones you throw out. It's like a glow-in-the-dark ball. And last night, the fireworks were going on, and we actually threw the ball out in the fireworks, and she did okay. I don't mean in the fireworks. I just mean there was like noises in the distance and some people in the neighborhood. But she was enough that she could get distracted with her like favorite thing in the world, like chasing that ball around the backyard. She was so excited that she almost, excuse me, didn't notice that anything was going on. So it worked out pretty well. I think she's actually getting used to it, but I know it's a tough day for so many dogs out there and so many owners, and I hope some of the tips that we gave you here on WooFDriver were able to help you. Everybody kind of had some cool tips to show you all this week and tell you, and I hope you were able to apply them and that they were helpful. Let me see what people are saying, and also drink a glass of water. This is live. Hi from Emma. Angel, how are you doing? Amanda, hello there. Karen Joy, watching from McKinley, Minnesota. Amanda, Cooper is scared to death of him. I know. Cho Snoop Dong, hello there. Watching from Chicago. Oh, that's nice. Katie Faulkner, watching from Newark, New York. New York. I fly into the Newark Airport, New Jersey a lot. I use Rescue Remedy. I use Rescue Remedy. I mean me. Actually, I'm not into like a whole lot of holistic stuff, but somebody had suggested Rescue Remedy. For those who don't know, it's like, well, it's like one of those holistic, like herbal type of things. You might be able to get it like a Whole Foods or something like that. And I actually think it has calmed me down, and I've used it sometimes with, I'm a singer in like a gigantic stage situation, like on TV or something. I'll do a little Rescue Remedy. It's just like an eyedropper. But a lot of people are using it for the dogs while they're traveling or putting a little in the water. I tried it once when we had 2 cats that weren't getting along, that maybe we could chill them out a little, but I don't know if that was really helpful. I have 3 pups and a cat. Oh, you must have a lot of love. Hello from Mimi, Carthage, North Carolina. That is so great. It's great for dogs. So Amanda, that really has worked for you. I tried it with the cats. I also tried, I forget what it was. The vet gave us something that was almost like a pheromone, like a cat would give out, like a happy type of pheromone. And so the cat was supposed to be happy, but I think this cat was beyond happiness. But hello from Bartow, Florida. Am I saying that right? That's Dorothy. How are you doing, Dorothy? Well, as I said last time I was here, 4th of July here in the States, if you're listening around, we have a lot of fireworks and people are setting off. In fact, in my house, you might hear some because people on the neighboring yards, they still have some fireworks left over, so they're throwing them up. But, sorry, it's the #1 day for dogs to go loose. And I saw so many stories today of, you know, all the pounds now are full of all these dogs. And so if you're missing your dog, probably the first thing to do is bring it to, go to the vet. If you found a dog, go to the vet, see if the dog is microchipped, and then you'll hopefully be able to get the owner. Then also call all the neighboring vets, all the humane societies, shelters. And really the biggest thing right now, of course, is the internet is touching so many people's lives that ask people in your neighborhood, because sometimes, like my neighborhood in Nashville, each individual little part of town has their own Facebook page. So you might not even be aware of that, but if there's a page like that on Facebook, you might be able to put, there might be a missing dog section, and you might be able to easily find your dog if it runs off, and you might be able to find the dog before you bring it to a shelter, and there's so many dogs there and everything. Make sure you check those sites. But you know, it used to be when we were kids, I know we were making posters and putting it out on telephone poles, and it was so hard because the rain would come and then the posters would be gone, and maybe somebody wouldn't see them or they'd get taken down. And there are a lot more ways to find dogs nowadays, but don't give up. We have so many great stories, and you hear about them all the time. I just saw a story about a dog traveling 111 miles to get back home. So don't give up. Keep on looking. And really, if out there, if you find a dog, no matter how cute it is, if it doesn't look like it's starving, it's probably somebody's dog. And as much as you may want this dog and you know you could give it a good home, this dog probably has a home. So try to find the home. Really go all out. You know, go to all the vets and again, and keep on going to the shelters. And make a poster and put it at a shelter, because sometimes somebody will walk in and ask the next person working there, and they might not remember, oh, someone just called and they said they found a big black dog or something like that. So just keep on trying to find the owner, because you know how heartbroken you would be and your kids would be if your dog was missing. So keep on trying. And I hope none of you lost your dogs. But here we go. Hello? Our neighbor is recommending it. Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think it's probably safe. I'd ask your vet and make sure that they're okay with it, but it's an herbal thing. Whenever people say that, it's like, yeah, so's arsenic. But a lot of people use it, and maybe you'd want to speak with your vet and see what dosage, or if there's certain breeds of dogs that maybe don't do as well. But I think universally people use it, and usually just an eyedropper into their water. I sure wouldn't want to put it under their tongue like I've done with mine, because whoo, it's pretty bad tasting, but it has chilled me out a little bit. I was on a show called Star Search. Some of you people who are over 35 might have remembered it as being kind of like American Idol. You know, you went out there and you sang, or in that, I guess it's more like America's Got Talent, because there are people who are dancing and there are people who had comedy and things like that. And a lot of people were on there who became famous, like, oh, just so many people. Dave Chappelle and Dennis Miller and Carrot Top. He was on the year I was on. Britney Spears was on it. Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera. A whole bunch of people have gone through the ranks. But I was on, and I happened to win for the whole year, which is pretty amazing. But every time I went on, I did a little rescue remedy, because, woo, it's very, very scary. And, you know, just going out there in front of a crowd, it's just crazy. But I have done it on occasion. I don't know where it is. I know there's usually a little tiny vial of it somewhere in my house, but I should be using it before these shows. But I'm just kidding. Oh, everybody's saying hello. That is so nice. Well, hello, everybody. And if you haven't said hello, please just say, hey, I'm so-and-so from somewhere, because I'd love to see where you're from and what you're doing, and even tell me your dog's name or how you did on the 4th of July. I know it's not easy for everybody, but we had a double doggy dose on the 4th of July, because not only did we have fireworks, we had a gigantic thunderstorm. So come on, give a dog a break. That's kind of what was going on. It was a lot of rain, a lot of thunder, and then all of a sudden the fireworks. So pretty crazy. Sheryl Crow sang at the fireworks here, so that was good, and a whole bunch of other artists, so that was fun. But let's get to all the fun stories. If you've never tuned in before, this is kind of what I do. I collect some fun stories that are all going around the world, and I bring them to you. Sometimes they're informative, sometimes they're wacky, sometimes you can learn something, and sometimes you can just laugh at them. So I try to bring you some fun things that are going on in the news. But let's get to this first thing. Well, have you ever, well, I've eaten a lot of trail mix in my time, and I know it's good. It's not like a piece of cheesecake or maybe ice cream or anything, but it's pretty tasty. But evidently, for this little dog, this is in San Bernardino, California, this little dog liked trail mix so much. Well, I'll just get to the story. This little dog got his head stuck in a jar of trail mix. So, well, let me show you the picture. Oh my goodness. Oh, this poor little guy. Let me see if you can see. It's a little bit of a glare. but you can see the little dog's head, and you can see on here is a fireman holding this dog, and then this guy is holding the jar. And see, what happened was, there's this big, like a big hard plastic jar of trail mix at this owner's home. The dog stuck his head in the trail mix, could not get the jar off the head. So I'll tell you the story. The panicked dog owners didn't know what to do, and they brought their jar-headed dog to the fire station. Here's the fireman spokesperson, Liz Brown, saying, "This doggy got into the hard plastic jar to steal the trail mix inside and couldn't get out. The owners tried to get it off, but were unsuccessful." The first thing the guys did was cut the bottom so the dog had some air to breathe. And then they started cutting down the sides of the jar with these, guess what they're calling trauma shear scissors. They're really heavy-duty scissors that they would use if, let's say, there was a car accident and you're cutting a seatbelt off or having to get boots off of somebody, and really heavy-duty. So then they cut down the little jar neck, and they said that this kind of thing doesn't happen all the time, but they get, you know, of course, calls to get cats out of trees, dogs from stuck in pipes under the house, all different crazy stuff. But this dog with the jar of trail mix on his head was a first for them. But the wacky thing is they said when he got freed, he was so happy, and the owners were just so super happy. But the one thing they were saying was he ate every bit of trail mix. So you'd think you'd get this jar on your head, and you would go, "Oh no, I've got a jar on my head. How do I get the jar out?" No, he was trying to flip it around to get every single piece of trail mix out of there. So that's pretty crazy, but very happy. Glad he got it off his head. And poor little doggy. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to tell you. We had to bring our dog to the vet once. I was probably 10 years old, and I went out in our garage, and our dog had gotten a fish hook in his lip, like a fish, and was dragging the fishing pole around in our garage. It was an awful scene. So of course we snipped the line, and then we brought it to the vet, and they were able to get it out. But you just have to, you know, we weren't thinking. I was a little wacky kid. I wasn't thinking about maybe you should never have a fishing pole where a dog could get to it. But I kind of didn't think I don't know, I wasn't thinking. I'm 10 years old. What are you going to do? Let's see. Oh, Cheryl, it's always so good to see you. Hello there. Oh, yeah. Grace. Oh, Carol Grace Anderson is here. If you've watched her show, she does a show called Paw Prints of Wisdom. It is so great. It's just beautiful. She has wonderful insight into life. She's a public speaker. She speaks all around the country, so she's just able to really talk about feelings and emoting, and she's a big dog lover. She's got so many dogs in her extended family, and she just wrote a really big book that just came out, and it's in all the stores and Amazon and any place you can get a book, it's out there, and also in all the Cracker Barrel stores. So you just walk in there, and not only do you find her book, but she's an artist. So you find all her note cards with all her beautiful paintings on the front. It's pretty crazy. So she's talented, a lot of talented people. Can you say hi to Dustin? Dustin Chrysler? Hey, Dustin Chrysler, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. We love hearing from you, seeing what you guys are up to. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? Good. I see you. I see you right there. You think I don't, but I do. No, it's so great to see you. Now, I know you guys, just like when I don't have any kids, but people ask, oh, do you think people have a favorite kid? Well, do you think people have a favorite dog? I have loved every one of my dogs, but I would probably say our very first dog when I was a kid, Duffy. Yeah, the one that had the fish hook in the lip. That was probably my favorite because it was probably the first dog I had as a kid for a really long time that was really mine. We had a little family dog before, but that was like the one that my parents surprised me by putting the puppy in a bird cage and then wrapped the bird cage up. I hope they had air holes in it, but gave it to me under the Christmas tree. Even though we know that a dog for Christmas is not a great gift, but as I'm saying, what are you going to do? But I was a very good little owner. But this dog is kind of, you know, a special dog. But getting back to the story. Would you want to clone your dog? I don't know. It seems a little, you know, a little Star Trek-y and futuristic. I don't know. Well, here we go. A cloning clinic in South Korea has a steady flow of clients who are seeking clones of their beloved dogs. I know I'm going to mess up these names. Wang Jai-woong, I'm sure that's just how he wants to say it. A researcher and spokesman for Sohm Biotech explains, these people have a very strong bond with their pets, and cloning provides a psychological alternative to the traditional method of just letting the pet go and keeping their memory. With cloning, you have a chance to bring back the pets. The process involves harvesting a mature cell from the dog, and then they transfer the DNA of the donor egg to a donor egg that doesn't have anything in it. So it's kind of like an empty egg that they inject the DNA from your beloved pets. And the cell and the egg are fused with an electrical jolt. You know, that sounds like Bride of Frankenstein, you know, like a big jolt, and all of a sudden they make this, I don't know, cyber dog. And then the embryo is put into a surrogate mother dog, and then you get a pup in about 2 months. And this, if you're thinking, you're sitting there listening to me, and you're going, well, that would be just great for our dog buddy. You unfortunately have to have $100,000. But if you do have $100,000, you can get your dog cloned. They said so far of requests for the service are coming from all over the world, and half of them are from the United States. There have been a lot of famous people who are doing it, and a lot of people are like kind of embarrassed for doing it, so they say they're not even like mentioning their names, they're just getting it done. One of the let me see what you guys are doing. Oh, Bill says hello. Hello there, WooFDriver. Woof, woof, woof. A lot of the people are getting it done anonymously, but there was one that was well publicized, and that was this dog named Tracker. I don't remember if Tracker was this police dog and was hailed as a hero because it discovered the last survivor of the 9/11 attack at the World Trade Center. And so there was like a write-in bid of who wanted to get the dog cloned, and that was one of the ones that they cloned. So they made 5 puppies. I don't know whatever happened to those pups, but they're probably back to work in that kind of a capacity. The thing about it is, it's not your dog. That's what you really have to know. What it is, it's kind of like a identical twin. So I'm not a twin, but if you're a twin out there or you know any twins, they're not the same person. I mean, we're so much more than just the sum of our DNA, and you know that with a dog. We're all different. We're all life's experiences. We're just, you know, magic, spirituality, whatever you want to say. We're different than just DNA, and your dog is different from DNA. So just because one dog is exact in a scientific way doesn't mean it's your dog, but it is the closest thing you would ever get to your dog. So, you know, if your dog always liked to, I don't know, run down the street backwards, there's a good possibility that this dog might do the same thing, or I don't know, it'd be similar. Like, I know in your family, like my family, we all laugh at about the same kind of humor. So there probably are some similarities, but that may be just because we had the same parents and you're raised in the same house. So hard to tell, but my feeling is $100,000 could be better spent taking care of dogs that are in shelters. And as you know, there's a lot of special dogs out there, but every dog is special when you just love them and they love you back. They just become special. So I think that's the way to go. Just let it go. It's kind of like a guy who has a wife they really loved and then the wife died. You shouldn't try to find someone who's exactly like that. I mean, you would think it was pretty weird. It's like, now I'll date her identical twin. You know, just go on. Find the wonderfulness of another being, another dog. I think that's the way to go. That's my plan, is don't try chasing down that same dog you had. Find another dog to love. But this is one of the dogs that they've created. This is a girl, one of the people working there holding one of the little pups. Looks very cute. But let's face it, it looks about as cute as any dog you've ever seen. Every dog is cute. All right, next story. This is a good one. Claire Shaw and her family were boating off the coast of Noank along the Connecticut shoreline Sunday when their 8-month-old Shiba, I didn't know how to say this, Shiba Inu puppy slipped out of their harness and into the ocean. So they're boating, and then they looked all around. They took their boat. They're going all over the place. They're calling for their dog. They're looking in the water. It was the most awful experience. And they started calling the Coast Guard. They called everybody they could. And this was only an 8-month-old pup, and he's regularly like a small little dog. Here you go. I see these dogs all around. They're a Japanese dog. I really didn't know how to say the name. Shiba Ina. And what happened was they got home. I mean, they were like, it's over, you know, just gonna, they said that they put a candle in the dog's crate. I mean, they were having like a goodbye ceremony. You know, the dog, it's not like a dog getting loose in your yard. This is way out in the middle of the water. I mean, what are you gonna do? But what happened was, just as I said earlier, there's so many ways of finding a dog that they posted that on their Facebook page, looking for their little dog and explaining about the dog. And then it got sent around, and hundreds of times people were sharing it, which is so nice. If you see one of those things, share it, because you never know, you know, who your friends, they might share it with somebody. And that's what happened. A vet happened to, it was an equine vet, not even a dog vet, saw the picture and happened to be on another page where somebody was saying they found the dog and posted a picture that was the same kind of dog, and he connected them and they made contact and were able to get the dog back. So really great news. So that's really, if you lose a dog or find a dog, the internet, that's one thing that really has been so great with all the advances with the internet, because you can really find your pet and have a clear picture out there and show them what they're like and give all the information, and it's been really great. So that was a really good and happy story for them. So I hope you guys have a wonderful couple days. I'm going to be back on Saturday night, which is fun. So come on. It'll be about the same time, Saturday night. And I always have fun seeing you and seeing what you're up to. Hey, Cynthia. How are you doing? Good to see you. I love seeing you. We love that you tune in here, and we love your comments and all the stuff you're sharing. We have so many fun things coming up this week. You're not going to believe it, but tune in every single day. I'm not kidding, because each time that you tune in, there's going to be something fun happening, something to catch up on if you missed it, and lots of questions that we're answering, and lots of comments that we're laughing at, just lots of cool things, and posts from all you guys and photos. And I love all the hosts. Everybody's bringing just a little bit different, whether it's a training method or just something to do with dogs and how to take care of them, and about breeds and music. There's just so much stuff going on. And we have, as I said, some really cool new stuff happening. And just, I think this week or next week, there's going to be 2 new shows that I'm really excited about, and I know you're going to love them. But we love hearing from you, and we love seeing everything you have to say here. So I'm Britt Savage for WooFDriver News. I'm going to see you again really soon. Have a great couple days, and take good care of those doggies. Bye.